Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. We got actually a crisis that's beginning in Italy, and you know what? This is the first rebellion against the European Union. Really, actually, it's the second. Britain cast their vote to leave the European Union. This is the second rebellion, but this one actually could actually hit the fan quicker, and it could start quicker. And we got huge problems. Let's start the charts right here, and let's take a look at this. Italy wages war. That's what they're calling it. It's not really war, but Italy is the European Union is launching disciplinary action against Italy. Now here's the thing. What they're going to do is put sanctions on Italy. The Italian government, is now turning to the people of Italy, and they're saying, help us with this. Help us with these bullies that are using economic, what's the word I could use for this? Economic terrorism or something. Not really terrorism, but just economic. It's like what they do, how they do it is they come in and they loan Italy massive amounts of money, the European Union. Now, you have to ask yourself, well, where did they get this money? The European Central Bank. Where did they get this money that they lent Italy? Well, simple. They just walked over to their computer and typed in as many digits as they want, pushed the button that said create money, and pow! There's the money. They sent it to Italy, and then they said, this is all got to be paid back with interest. So they created the money from nothing, but now what they want to do is basically make Italy, by making Italy pay all that back, what they're actually doing is they're going to suck the very lifeblood and the very life out of Italy. This is their plan. This is their insidious plan. But the people of Italy, they've been sucking on them now. Just like a tick sucks on a dog, they've been sucking on the Italian economy to pay this money back that was created from nothing. By gosh, it's a good racket, isn't it? It's a criminal racket. This is what it is. It's criminal to create money from nothing and then basically to make that money come back. It's almost like a tax. It's not really a tax, but it works almost like a tax because they're getting money from nothing. Now they want all that money back. Italy's not obeying the rules to give them that money back so that they can get their money back, and they're upset about it, and now they're going to impose sanctions on Italy, which means pay us more. Yet more. It's always greed, 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 greed. But this is their downfall. You get too greedy sometimes, it's the end of you. If you, what happens to a guy, you ever seen these movies? It works this way. The bad guy in the end, finally the two of them meet in an abandoned warehouse someplace. And the bad guy, he pulls the gun on the other guy, and he gets him in the corner. The good guy. The good guy's in the corner, and the bad guy's got the gun on him. And then the bad guy starts to talk. He starts to tell the good guy about everything he's done, all the evil stuff he's planned and everything else. And because he thinks he's got this good guy in the corner, and he thinks he's going to shoot him and everything else, right? And so he starts to talk. And he starts to brag about how, I've done this and I've done that and everything else. And now you're going to get it. And he's got the other guy in the corner. And he starts to pull the gun up. He starts to pull the trigger back slowly, And it always in the movie, something happens at the last second. The last second to take the bad guys down. Well, the bad guys in this case is the European Union. And creating money for nothing, giving it to Italy, and then expecting to basically take everything Italy's got. Their economy, their money, their people, their blood, their sweat, their tears, their buildings, their land, everything. That's what they expect back. And they're just like, they got Italy cornered right now. And now they're going to punish Italy. They're into the punishment phase, disciplinary action, right? But now the Italian government, this new Italian government, they're like the good guy, and they're standing there and they're wondering what's going to happen because they got the gun pointed at them. Right? But it's just like in the movies. They're applying to the people. They're coming to the people and they're saying, "Help us. We need your help against this European Union that wants to savage our country, wants to take away our self-respect, wants to take away all of everything we have to pay off a loan that was made from nothing." Well, if the loan's made from nothing, we shouldn't have to pay anything back at all. Let them go whistle for their money. You know? But that's not quite the way it works, because these bureaucrats, somehow, how did we let these bureaucrats get in control in the first place? How? And isn't it about time that countries started to break free of this economic hitman? There's a book wrote, and I think it was called Economic Hitman. And he said, in the book, he said exactly how this works. But this is on a grander scale. This is the European Union imposing this control over everyone, creating money from nothing, and then expecting it all to be paid back. And when it all has to be paid back, they get everything on pennies on the dollar. Can't anybody see that this is this devious plan of theirs? Well, the Italians are starting to see it. They're starting to see the light. Thank God they're starting to see the light. And this could erupt into a massive crisis, though, because this is brewing faster than Britain doing a hard exit from the European Union. This is coming faster down the pike. It says, European Commission, Gunther Olfenberger has earlier signaled his intention to get tough, suggesting inaction on the matter was not an option. So, see, they're still laying down the law, these guys. Let's see, there's a picture of one of them here, right here. This is probably your ringleader, right here. Who is this guy? Is this your ringleader? Ringleader? It's the ringleaders. You know, the ringleaders are involved in all this. But it's a 5-star movement right here. Luigi. Oh, you know, I love the name Luigi. Luigi it even gets better. Luigi Mario. I just love it. 5-star movement. You know, like some sort of a video game with 5 stars. It almost sounds like a video game. Luigi Di Mario, the 5-star movement. Okay? He has defied these Eurocrats. Defied them. And now, so what they're going to do is they plan on cracking down. Always crackdown. Always crackdowns. We seen this back in World War II when the forces over in Europe was under the effects of what was happening. Dare I say the word? I'm not going to say the word of what they were called back then, you know, but they were spreading through Europe. They occupied France, you know. They occupied, and they were moving. They were going to make their move, trying to make their move on England. They were building V-2 rockets to launch on England, you know. And they were put out of business because they were always cracking down. They would stop everybody in Europe back in the early 1940s before the war ended. Every time you travel through Europe or whatever, it's always papers, please. And these guys would have high-powered weapons and everything else, and they were everywhere, walking their goose step, and you know what I mean. And this whole thing you got to constantly be vigilant. This is why we celebrated that little holiday there a week or two ago, Remembrance Day here in Canada, and Veterans Day in the United States, was because we won out over the oppression. Italy is now caught in a fight for their very lives over oppression. Deputy Minister Savini, speaking after Brussels rejected Italians' 2019 budget, said on Wednesday the government's physical targets were valid and indicated he would not negotiate over them. Here's the thing. It's not like Italy is putting in this huge monster budget. It's not like they're asking for very much. If they were a slave, it's like they're asking for an extra piece of bread, for crying out loud. You know? No, you're not going to have it. You're going to pay us back everything you owe us and more. We're going to hit you with more right now, you know? And we're going to take away the slice of bread that you got, and you're only going to get half a slice of bread a day from here on in. More, what do they call it, austerity measures, you know, more suppression of the people of Italy. Well, you know, the people of Italy have had enough, but these bureaucrats do not realize that the people have had enough. And now the Italian government, the five-star movement, Luigi is in the five-star movement. They're coming to the rescue in Italy, evidently, and they're going to try to fight against the monster. They're going to try to fight against the monster. And, you know, what, is this a picture of them? It says, Mr. Salvini said EU sanctions against Rome would be disrespectful toward Italians. The EU today paved the way for sanctions, although these are yet to be triggered. See, they're using that they're using it as a tool, like holding a baseball bat over a guy's head and saying, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to whack you in the head, you know, sort of thing. They're trying to use this as a tool, you know, to try to, but I'm going to tell you, this whole thing could bust out, and this whole thing could blow up in their faces. Really, it could honestly blow up in their faces, because they've made their stand. They've made their stand on Italy, and they've also made their stand against the Margaret Thatcher government and the government of Great Britain. They've said, okay, the Margaret Thatcher deal, we're not going to, the European Union has said, okay, we're not going to renegotiate the terms of the Margaret Thatcher deal. And it's either that or the highway. So they made their case there, and they've also made their case here against Italy. They said that you're going to go under more austerity or nothing, or we're going to sanction you. And so they're taking a hard line against these countries, when right now what they should be doing is stimulating the Italian economy. They should say, okay, Italy, this is what the boys in Brussels really should do if they were fair about it all. They'd say, okay, Italy, we see your budget proposal here. It's not out of line. We're going to double it, because we can create money from nothing, just pushing a button. So let's create more money, and let's bail Italy out. Didn't Mario Draghi, didn't he say, whatever it takes? Well, now we're down to the situation of whatever it takes. Where is he? Where is he in his statement of whatever it takes? So, here we go. This could create a huge crisis right here. And here they are. Here they are, cozying up to one another in their power base, you know, their total power and control over everything. And these are the ones that's going to punish Italy. Imagine having the audacity to decide to actually punish a country the size of Italy. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to have a real, you got to be really cocky or something to be able to actually come across and make a statement even like that, you know? Anyway, this whole thing, it looks to me like if it continues, if this punishment doesn't work, and I'm not so sure it will, I think it's just going to make things worse, just complicate things and make things worse. It says the so-called report says that Italy is at serious risk of non-compliance with the EU's debt rules, according to Politico. The report will single out Italy as being in breach of the EU laws, which says public debt cannot be higher than 60% of GDP, or if it is, it has to be falling towards 60% at a satisfactory pace. Well, you know, if you keep enforcing these rules on Italy, their GDP is going to continue to dwindle down smaller and smaller. They're not going to be able to pay back nothing in the end if you keep squeezing them. For crying out loud, you got to give them some room to breathe. Oh, honest to God, this whole thing could blow sky high, and very soon. I mean, Britain is on the slow burner right now. They're not going to leave the European Union for a few more months. This thing might blow first. Seriously. So listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.